In our last session, we read a letter from a woman whose daughter, Lucy, cut herself with a razor when the woman's ex-husband and Lucy's father, Mason, threatened for the umpteenth time to move out of state. We talked about how Lucy was drowning from a lack of real love, and I suggested that it was a huge mistake for this woman to make promises she couldn't keep. In this case, telling Lucy that her father wouldn't move. She was just manipulating her daughter with a lie to temporarily make her feel better. Now, back to the writer of the letter. You won't accomplish anything meaningful here with Lucy until you understand that the feeling controlling her world more than any other, by far, is fear. She is terrified that her father will leave her, and then she'll be alone and unloved. She won't have any real love, and the imitation love he gave her will be gone too. She'll be devastated. Everything she is doing is a reaction to fear, and without realizing it, you are actually making things worse because you are reacting to your own fears. You're afraid of what your ex-husband will do. You're afraid that Lucy will be hurt. You're afraid that Lucy will make you look like an incompetent parent. You're afraid Lucy won't love you. That's a lot of fears. And Lucy can feel your fears as you try to manipulate her, and as you control Mason, and as you fret and fuss about all this. We're all pretty sensitive to the fears of others. We have an instinctive smell for it. You can't help Lucy until you can interact with her without fear. Unfortunately, you can't fake that. So, what can you do? She needs you not to be afraid, but you are afraid. Now what? Let's look at your fears, and as we examine them closely, you'll discover that they will have less power over you. You'll discover that you're not as helpless as you thought. You'll learn things that will give you power you never had before. Right now, both you and Lucy feel controlled by Mason, and you feel controlled because you believe the terrible lie that you need his love. This is one of the most common lies in the world, that we need the love of a particular person in order to be happy. But that is simply not true. Imagine that you're dying of thirst in the middle of the desert. If I bring you a glass of clear, clean water, do you care where it comes from? Minneapolis or Miami, Duluth or Detroit? Irrelevant. As long as it's not obviously tainted in some way, water from any source will save your life. And it is the same with real love. Lucy does not need to be loved by her father in order to be happy. That's a revolutionary thing to say. It would be nice if he loved her, but it's not essential. Not at all, in fact. When you believe that, and when she believes that, his threats to move will mean absolutely nothing. Now, I don't recommend that you say to Lucy, you don't need your father's love. That would come across as critical and undermining, and you don't want to go down that road. So, what can you say to her? We'll talk about that in our next session.